Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Live from Western New York. We are delighted to be with you this Monday morning. And unfortunately, a little glitch with our new listings that we wanted to share. So we're just going to jump right into our program. And if we're so lucky that Chuck's computer is agreeable with him, we may be able to check out a couple of the listings. But for now, we thought we would just, instead of keeping you all waiting, we would get started. So if Chuck is available and he is ready to do the listings, let me know. But otherwise, if we could just let everyone into the waiting room and we can get started, that would be great. I know some people are still entering, so we'll hold off getting started for a moment. We hope everyone's having a great Monday, and we're excited to be with you this morning to kick off the week. And we have some, I hope, some great talking points and trends in real estate from Kathy and Lou and Matthew. And so we're just so pleased to have you join us and kick off the week with us. And let's just jump right into the program. If we can get the PowerPoint up on the screen, Lisa, that would be great. Thank you, thank you. And again, there's our co-host for this week. We're going to get all three. We're going to hear from all three, and also Kevin Horan from First Priority Mortgage. So good morning, Lou and Matthew and Kathy and Kevin. We're happy to have you with us this morning to inspire us and to give us some great information. I see that Chuck is on right now. So Chuck, did you want to cover a couple of listings real quick before we get started? Hello, Chuck? I guess not. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint then. And I guess we'll just add those new listings to next week's presentation. Thank you, thank you. So this morning, our office spotlight is actually our Batavia office, and we have Tammy on in Batavia, and she is going to join us this morning live from her office so that we can hear about their market. Good morning, Tammy. How are you today?
Fine, Charlene. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. So happy to have you on the call this morning. So tell us all about Batavia and anything that you'd like to share about your market, your office, any great information to familiarize us all with Batavia.
I want to say I'm sitting here with one of our agents, David Adams. And
good morning, everyone.
We were just, we wanted to share a little bit about Batavia. We're centrally located between Rochester and Buffalo. We're 30 minutes, it's about 30 minutes from Darien Lake and Letchworth State Park. We have the Geneseo Community College, New York, and the New York State School for the Blind. We also have, as many of you know, Batavia Downs is also located here. One of our favorite candy stores is also here. Well, one of my favorite candy stores, Oliver's Candy, and that was established in 1932, and it specializes in sponge and ribbon candy, my favorite. So we also have our own minor league baseball team that our office is a proud sponsor of, the Batavia Muck Dogs. And we have a couple breweries in Batavia. We have Eli Fish Brewery and Company. We have Angotti's and I think it's Sanyo's and Sons. I could be saying that incorrectly.
Sanzo
and Sons Brewery. I don't visit breweries. And then my favorite lunch place of all times, I've taken Kathy there a couple of times, Miss Batavia, literally right across the parking lot.
Love that place.
Yes, it's one of my favorites. But our market, our average single family sale price is $174,700. And our multi-family average sale price is $148,000. So it's a very affordable community to live in. So that's Batavia.
Dave, what do you love about Batavia?
What do I love about Batavia?
Yeah.
How about
Well, since I'm involved with a community group here, it's a not-for-profit live performance theater. We actually have a brand new theater on Main Street that's still under construction right now. We had a big fundraiser last week with lots of local businesses and community representatives. There's educational programs along with the performances. So we touch a lot of people in that respect. We're trying to bring, that to downtown to give the Main Street area, which is under a lot of revitalization, a little bit more life. So that's one of the projects that I stay involved with, pretty often.
Great. So Tammy, you said that your market's very affordable. So
Yes,
are you finding that the inventory that you have sells very quickly? Are you in a multiple offer situation? I mean, are you getting, because of where your central location is between Buffalo and Rochester, and those markets are both, dealing with a shortfall of inventory, are you finding that people are, moving into the Batavia, Oakfield, Elba market a little bit more as a result of that? And as a result of that, are you seeing things, selling more quickly?
we are still seeing some multiple offers depending on where the location of the property is. Not multiple offers and not as high as they used to be, but we're seeing, we're not 20,000. We're seeing 5,000 to 10,000 over.
But you are still seeing things selling over asking. So the list price to sale price ratio is, you're finding over 100% in most instances.
Most instances, yes. And
Yeah.
most of the things are selling. We're still doing some delayed negotiations and they're selling within a week.
That's great. Do you have a shortfall of inventory like the rest of us do?
Yes, we do. So when it comes, it's pretty much gone depending on the type of property that it is.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing all that. Anybody else have any questions for?
So Tammy, I have a question for you. So in your office and in your market, you deal with two different MLSs, correct?
Yes, we do. We have Buffalo and Rochester.
And two different sets of contracts, correct?
Correct.
So how do you find that with agents? Is that a challenge? Is that something that's easily taught?
It's easily taught. I mean, for me, I originally came from Buffalo, so I had to learn the Rochester contract, but for the most part, I mean, we handle it very well. And then when we get offers from Buffalo on a Rochester listing, we correct what needs to be corrected so that all of the forms are there. And everyone understands that. We also deal with Wyoming County contracts. So there's a couple of different contracts in this office that we work with.
Great. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Anything else?
No, I think we're good. I'm excited for you in the spring market going into spring and summer. And I hope your market continues to be very brisk. And I think now we want to move to the rest of our presentation. So thank you very much. And let's just talk for a minute about the big spring open house event. We did have some listings to share with you that we're going to be open this coming weekend, but you can go right to the ML and find them. And we're finding that a lot of agents are waiting until the last minute to market the fact that they do have an open house for the weekend, since
big
we
open
are
house event. I'll be making hardly any flyers.
I know. Who was that? I don't know, it just happened, but I ended up getting muted, but that's okay. So let's move on. So just so you're aware of it, we do have our big spring open house event, and I know that Kathy and Lou and Matthew will probably chat about that for a moment as well. So let's move on. Thanks so much. So welcome to this week's co-host. We have Kathy, Matt, and Lou. So I guess we're going to just jump right into it. Welcome.
Great. Thanks, Charlene. Oh, there's Kevin's face. I wanted to mention something about the open house before we talk about more market trends. Is there was an open house in Irondequoit this weekend where there was 47 groups that went through, And out of those 47 groups, 9 of those buyers did not have an agent. So guys, you know, you got to get out and do these things. It's back to basics. You know, yes, you do want buyers because inventory will loosen up eventually. Now, that being said, let's talk about what's going on now, guys. Hi. You know, I've noticed just some local trends that have been going on in the Rochester market is that the days on the market is slowly ticking up a little bit. It's gone from like 5 to 6 to 7 to now we're about 8 days on the market. Not that that's significant, but it does show that properties are not all the properties are selling within that delayed negotiation time. What are your thoughts on that? Matthew?
As far as Rochester is concerned, I'm seeing the same thing in my region, and I think some of it has to do with pricing. And I know that there's some challenges, and the agents that I've talked to, you know, from office to office are really trying to figure out, you know, where do you land with it? Do you go with a lower price to try to drive that activity, or do you try to get a little bit closer to where you think it should be? And then you've got the agents that are somewhat overpricing because the sellers are dictating. So I think there is a combination of things that we're seeing throughout the region.
You know, if you look at it, just make sure that when you're speaking to the consumers and you say that days on market is up 20%, well, it went from 26 days to 31 days. So, you know, again, as much as it is increasing, it's not like it's dramatically substantial. You know, when you talk in 20%, you go, oh my God, it's really increasing. You say it's up 6. Okay, great. So you got to make sure that we are using good language when we're talking to the consumers so that they understand. But what it does tell us is that we have to be a little bit strategic on, kind of to Lou's point, what is the best strategy for pricing? Why do we believe that that strategy is going to work? And really get back to the consultation component of it.
Yeah, absolutely. There was I think it was last week or the week before, there was a property that was priced probably almost $100,000 less than where it probably should have been. And they ended up getting 80 some offers on the property. Now, how does that help the consumer? How does that help the seller? And it certainly doesn't help all those buyers who felt that they had an opportunity or a chance to get a really great property. So, you know, if that house was priced maybe $50,000 more, they still would have had the game that they wanted to play. And you know, you wouldn't have been disappointing all those maybe 40 or 50 people who thought they had a chance to get this house. So, you know, I'm a proponent of being in the middle, you know, not going too high, not going that super low. And I know that's a strategy for someone, but I think it does not, you know, the agent said, I know one of our agents called, wrote on it and talked to the listing agent, and the listing agent said, that he scanned all the offers. Scanned all the offers, you have to present every single offer. If you have 85 offers, you have to present 85 offers. When you scan offers, you're not doing your due diligence. You're not doing what you're supposed to do as a realtor, right?
Absolutely. I agree with that.
You mentioned something earlier, Kathy, which was the delayed negotiations. And I think that if you look at where we were 2 years ago, I want our agents to be able to explain why we believe something is a benefit to our sellers, or why it is a benefit to our buyers. So for example, if I'm going to list a property today and I say my strategy is going to be that I'm going to delay all showings and then we're going to only listen to offers on Friday, make sure you're explaining to the seller why you would do that. You know, I think that the market was so fast paced that our industry responded to it, and we created standards of practice that may not be in the best interest of our clients and customers. And it's our responsibility to share it with them. And then our seller says, I don't know if I like that strategy. I would be amazed how many people actually had the seller make the decision that they wanted delayed negotiations, because it really is the seller's responsibility and it's their choice to decide it, but it's our responsibility to explain it. And I don't know if agents can explain it properly and why they would say, you know, hey, this is why we believe this would be a benefit to you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. This is why we believe this. And I think that that's something important. As we're looking at the numbers, we really got to go back to consultation and explain why do we do these things? Why is this a potential strategy? Why did we used to do it? Maybe we don't do it anymore. Why are these things happening? I think that's really important.
Absolutely. And you know, once, if you do a delayed negotiation, we have to make sure that the seller knows that there's a possibility you're not going to get any offers. And this is just the beginning of our marketing plan. This is not the end all. If we don't, we have this, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that. We have to make sure when we go in, we have a complete marketing picture that this is one tool we're going to use, but it's not the only tool, especially if we don't get any offers.
Yeah, and to Matthew's point, if you don't know a good marketing strategy, when you walk into an opportunity, you should lean on some people, your manager first and foremost, of sitting down and strategizing before you go in, the time of the day, the time of the week, the month that you're in, understanding that the market has its own mindset. And, you know, that's the one thing we always talk about is, you know, the mindset of an agent, but you also have to look at the mindset of the market and what the market's doing. And you got to be able to adapt to it. And we are all here for you guys, as well as your managers, to help you with that.
Right. Go ahead, Matthew.
We're seeing in the comment, you know, Renee had made the comment about including FHA or VA financing and things like that. I think further to that point is having those conversations and explaining, why do we want to do this? Why do we want to include this? Why is this a good option? Why is this viable? What are the differences? You know, I think that there's a lot of perception on financing and different programs and things like that. So it's really, the onus is on us as professionals to really increase our competence and make sure that we understand why we're saying the things that we're saying and why this is viable versus maybe it wasn't 2 or 3 years ago, or why we're moving forward with these things. So it's just more imperative now than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I do see some listing inventory ticking up slowly. You know, it's not like it was, you know, 2-3 years ago, but it seems like we're getting a little bit more inventory, at least at Howard Hanna, because I watch the numbers every day, and it's nice to see. But as this starts to tick up more and more and more, we have to prepare our buyers as well as our sellers to a changing market, because eventually everything changes. We know this. We've been doing this forever. You know, markets change constantly. So you have to prepare. If you're doing a listing appointment for 3 months from now, the market 3 months from today is not going to be the market today. So you have to make sure that you prepare our buyers and our sellers for every situation. You know, we have to be prepared for the changing markets.
We also got to know what we're talking about as far as counties. So like we had talked about list price to sale price ratios earlier. Charlene kind of led into that. The entire MLS is at 102.9% list price to sale price ratio, but Erie County's at 104.4%. Then you go to Monroe County, it's 102.5, Livingston's 99.2, and Niagara County's at 100.6. You know, so you start to look at where am I, and it just reiterates that one, all real estate is local, it's all hyper local, and you got to make sure that we're not speaking about, you know, too far wide when we're talking about strategy and the consumer across the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you want to narrow it down, to Matthew's point, when you're in the MLS, you know, daily you can look at the closed sales, right? And you can open those up. And if you're in an area where you're looking for a certain township that you're looking to write on, because, you know, writing on some of these properties is one of the big challenges we're having right now. You can see what the difference is based on the list price and the sale price. Subtract the two, divide, and you'll get a percentage of that township of what you're going to be writing on. So if you can take the time to really educate yourself and help your buyers understand, it may be a little easier for you when you're writing to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I know we only have a couple more minutes, but I'm also seeing another thing. There's a lot of off-market deals going on. There was a survey, an Prop 2 survey at one of the websites, and it said 20 to 25% of sales are off market. Now, how is that a service to the sellers when the pace is so quickly? I mean, I would argue it's not, because you're not getting the multiple offers, you're not getting competition, you're just getting whatever is presented to you.
I think that's interesting too, Kathy, is like you look at it's a kind of like a mindset of like a for sale by owner. So they say, well, it's going to be quicker, it's going to be easier, and I don't have to lose money, is their, you know, perception. And so if you can see that that's some of the mindset out there, are you as agents preparing yourself to be able to counteract that? Are you able to say that, you know, with the use of my skills and resources, my list price to sale price ratio is 108%. You know, there's things that we can do to show the consumer that we bring in exceptional value and our value proposition is very strong. And, you know, we believe in real estate agents. Again, I don't know anybody on this call that would definitely not, that would say, I don't believe in real estate agents, you know,
Right.
so again, we believe that we make a difference and it's a positive and powerful impact. So I think that that's really important that we keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, I think it goes back to educating, right? Educating, and really diving into what's going on with the market and sharing it. You know, some of these sellers could be short-sighted, but in the same token, I think a lot of it comes from us as agents, you know, how we portray it, what we bring out, what we say, what we do, how we do it, because they all ask, what are your thoughts? What should I do? I mean, we are the, you know, we're the advisor, we're the real estate professional. I mean, so you just have to continuously point them in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think this kind of wraps it up. I know Charlene's got some more stuff that we need to go over, but you're muted, Charlene.
Muted, you're muted.
Oh, still muted.
Who keeps
There you go.
muting me? So I just wanted to make a couple or ask a couple of questions or make a couple of points about, you know, some of the things that you just said. You know, Matthew, going back to the stats that you shared from Livingston County being under 100% and then Erie being at 104.4. And then, you know, you covered, you know, the Rochester, Monroe County as well and other counties. You know, it's really interesting as we do look at all those numbers and as we go from neighborhood to neighborhood and more importantly, price ranges change all of that list price to sale price ratio. And I truly do think, to Lou's point, that the educational part of it with our client, whether it's a buyer or a seller, is so critical right now. For instance, I had a family member call me over the weekend to say they're thinking of selling their home and they just wanted to chat with me, and they understand that the market right now has shifted and it's no longer a seller's market and now it's a buyer's market. And you know, and so and it's their home is in Williamsville, which is, you know, very hot right now. And so I think the consumer, they're reading all this national news, and to all of you, Kathy and Lou and Matthew, you all said it over and over again. Our agents really need to do their due diligence when they sit with the client to consult and really explain what's going on and what's in their best interest, whatever strategy will work for that market. And that's why it's so important that we in the real estate community are really on top of, you know, what's happening here locally, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to get together with our agents on Monday mornings to just give this snippet of information. I mean, what you just shared is, you know, absolutely critical to our own market. So I hope that our agents take the time to go in and look at housing stats. If anyone needs any help at all, you know, any of us are willing to sit and share how to do all of that. But I think that all of your points are so spot on. So thanks for sharing all of that. You know, what's trending here in the Western New York area. We truly do appreciate that. Very different from what's happening in other markets across the country. So thanks. And I think we have Kevin on next to talk about what's happening in the mortgage industry. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. Thank you for the handoff. I got a couple quick slides, and I want to make sure that everyone listens to this part. This is the education portion of First Priority, and we're here to help everyone to really understand what's going on in the marketplace right now. If you could throw up a quick slide, Lisa. Yeah, that's just me. Keep going. Sorry. And you can go to the next one if you can. Okay, what's my rate? And this is what's going on right now. So go to the next slide real quick, and I want to quickly go over this, but then I want to explain what's going on. Who has the better interest rate? Okay, I've been doing this for 33 years. This used to be a very easy question to answer. Typical sales price, we'll pick on 250, we'll put on 5% down. And the credit score is 640. So it's okay, not great. It's on the lower end of getting qualified. And then we have another credit score of 720. This used to be such an easy question to answer, and see, it's all good. So the whole idea, you don't have to get it back there, it's fine. The whole idea now is, believe it or not, in this example, the lower credit score actually had a better interest rate. For purposes of today, I'm looking at maybe 6.3. In reality, the higher credit score could actually be 6.625. And here's what's going on. So it's important to understand that no longer is it very easy to answer your question on what is the interest rate today. A lot of it has to depend on, have they ever bought a house before? So what you will notice now is national newspapers, local newspapers, radio shows, every type of news outlet is talking about the new thing that's going on with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and that clients with good credit may face higher interest rates than those with lower credits. And here's what's going on nationally. Basically, what's going on is the push is to get first-time home buyers into a house. The push is to help people that have maybe 100% of median income or less. So the idea is to make it more affordable for those that may not be able to afford it normally, okay? So what they're basically doing is anyone that's under 80% of HUD median income. What does that mean, Kev? It basically means 87,000, 91,000, depending on the county that you're in. Anyone under that have never owned a home before will get a better interest rate, okay? Anyone that is 80%, which is 70,000 or 73,000, depending on the county, will get a better interest rate. So it is more critical now than ever to deal with a mortgage professional here at First Priority Mortgage, because you cannot just wing it anymore. You cannot just allow them to go online and say, hey, what's my interest rate going to be? There's going to be times in which we can give them a significant lower interest rate than the other bank. And the only reason why is we know what we're doing and how to structure these deals. And there may be times that we're going to leave the husband off of the mortgage app, put him on the deed, and have him qualify for a much lower interest rate. So it is, and I keep saying going back into this, we all want to give the clients the best deal possible. I think deep down, we all know that's one of our missions in life, is to help them get a home and to make sure they're getting the best deal. That second look that we've been promoting for many, many years means more now than ever before. It's $100 they get for talking to us, as long as we can get them qualified, if they've already had a pre-qual from another lender. You'll be amazed how often we will actually get that client come to us, because we have a lot more to offer at the end of the day. So please reach out to your loan officer to go over this. Right now, the other thing is, when you're writing contracts, our app to commitment on average is 9 days. Okay, so it takes 9 business days to get a commitment letter with us. It takes 34 days to get it clear to close with us. We're doing things amazingly well, but it's going back into the basics. So the whole theory behind this whole thing is, I wanted to go over, and I got 20 seconds left. I wanted to make sure that we all understand, when your clients say lower interest rate clients are getting a better deal than I am, that may or may not be true depending on their situation. First-time home buyers get a deal. It is what it is, okay, as long as their income's underneath a certain amount. Okay, move-up buyers may get a deal. See, that's my clock. May get a deal as well. At the end of the deal, allow us to help you and your client get the best deal possible. And you know what? After closing, we're going to market these clients and give these deals right back to you for their referrals. Thanks for the opportunity to talk here. And any questions, reach out to your loan officer, reach out to myself. That's what I have, Charlene. Thank you.
Great, good information, Kevin. Thank you so much. Again, we come to you and hope that you walk away with, some insights, a little bit about what's happening in the market, a little bit about financing. So hope it's a half an hour for you well spent. We have some education going on through the end of April and into May. In fact, a fast start class for new agents in the Rochester market starts on Monday, May 1st. And also in Buffalo, it states that we will have a fast start in June. But I also wanted to simply mention to you that we're very excited about our upcoming Kentucky Derby party for the Children's Free Care Fund. And we truly do hope that you log on this week and buy your ticket, because we are going to have so much fun. And I am absolutely thrilled to announce that Gina, the manager of our Lewiston office, will be performing live, singing to an acoustical accompaniment. So we're thrilled that we're going to have Gina performing. And we all know Gina, and she's so much fun. And we know it's going to be a great event with Woodford Reserve, mint juleps, and all kinds of great fare. And the tickets are $60. So if you need information, please let any of us know. We'd love to have you all join us for this party. And think about it for 1 minute. What a great way. We're not asking you to make a donation. We're saying, come and party with us and have a great time and enjoy. And at the same time, you're helping children who have medical needs and need some financial support in doing so. And that's what the Children's Free Care Fund is all about, our cause at Howard Hanna. So I hope you all have a great week. Thank you to Kathy, Lou, Matthew, and Kevin. And of course to Tammy and Batavia. Thanks so much for sharing your office with us this morning. And we hope you all have an absolutely incredible week. Take care.
Have a great week,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.